St Benet's Church has stood at this spot in Abbey Wood since 1909 and its hall since the 1930s. But with Crossrail arriving in the area bringing with it major developments, St Benet's Church Hall is under threat of permanent closure.
We're on top of the roof of the hall overlooking the old private road. This is where two of the fire escapes used to lead out to. Unfortunately, Crossrail have blocked both of the fire escapes off without warning, so we are now unable to use them. So it makes the hall in effect unusable. The St Benet's Hall used to have one way in, and then there'd be three possible exits, so two fire escapes at the rear here that used to go onto the private road. Unfortunately, we only found out by accident that Crossrail had put a fence over those fire escapes and blocked them. So we now only have one way in and one way out. As far as the insurance goes, we've had to reduce from 250 to around 30 people in here. However, some of the youth groups that meet in here have actually had to make a decision, and they've said, as there's only one way in and one way out, we're not going to meet until the works are actually carried out. It's devastating because there isn't much social provision or youth provision in this area. We've put together a proposal plan to keep some type of fire escape in place. And what it requires is the gap behind the hall, some above the drainage system, which doesn't need to be protected from the public, have a walking surface on that. So we're only after 1.5 metres, 2 metres. And then we could have the fire escapes, as they are, just opened again. We think Crossrail will be fantastic for the area. It's great to get these fast trains in. And we're definitely not saying that. We're not saying not in my backyard at all. We're saying let's share our backyard.
Transport for London bought the former alleyway behind the church through a compulsory purchase order. Network Rail says that the land is essential to the building of Crossrail in Abbey Wood, but is doing all it can to reach a compromise with St Benet's.
In order for us to fit in, we're looking at fitting not just 4 railway tracks, we need to fit in signalling cables, electrification cables, security fence, noise barrier, 2 sets of drainage, and each of them come with certain requirements for separation, for both safe by design and for maintenance. We're unable at the moment to space them such that we then can hand over a width that's significant enough to allow them to use for an escape route. Whilst we're always open to look to proposals, at the minute our engineers can't come up with something that can achieve that, which is why we're looking to mitigations on the building side as the quickest way to sort out this problem.
Until an agreement is reached by St Benet's and Crossrail, the church hall will remain closed until further notice.